Hi everyone, I am, for the first time, WayTooLateTV. I used to be BigAngry, and this used to be BigAngry Plays, but now I am WayTooLateTV. I guess I can go by WayTooLate. This is WayTooLateTV. It is good to be here. As you can see, I have rebranded. The new Twitter channel right there is at Way2LateTV. And the new Twitch channel, as you can see, which you should be on right now if you're watching on Twitch, is /WayTooLateTV. Yeah, this is new. Now, the reason that I have done this is my good friend Pound of Flesh, who I co-host his stream with him on Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. to midnight, over at twitch.tv/poundofflesh with a 0 for the O in of. He was talking to me last night, and he said, you know, you are probably one of the least angry people that is on the Twitch platform. So, you know, BigAngry doesn't really make too much sense. And, you know, I know you've had the nickname for like 20 years, but, you know, it just doesn't really fit. And, you know, the whole you know, not matching up with the YouTube channel and the Twitch channel and the Twitter channel doesn't really work that well. So unfortunately I can't change the YouTube channel, so I figure why not just go for everything else the same as the YouTube channel. And WayTooLateTV makes a lot more sense, because I do stream very late. If it's not like, you know, 11 p.m. Pacific, then it's much later. It is way too late TV, and you know, it works out. Let's see, it's having a little trouble loading chat. I don't understand why. Connecting to chat. That's really weird. Huh. Oh well. Let's see. Now, I did change just the name on Twitch and whatnot. So I'm going to try and get a new bot in here. And that should be Nightbot. Let's see if I can actually get Nightbot in here. This is a little weirder than I thought it would be. Just, you know, getting started to get set up. Oh, I can do most of that later. Anyway, I've gone over why I wanted to change to WayTooLateTV. It's probably going to take me probably a little bit at least to stop saying BigAngry and start saying WayTooLateTV. Because, like I said, I've had BigAngry for, God, probably about 23 years right now. It's been a while. So, yeah. But, boy. So this is kind of new for me. This is kind of new. Still having trouble. Still having trouble, getting the chat working, which is a little bad, because, you know, it's kind of useful to have it, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Wouldn't be a new rebranding without some bumps in the road, you know? What can you do? Error loading data. Great. Okay, well, the important part is, I don't really need the overlay right now, so... the important part is I can, Pound of Flesh. Hello! Alright, if I get this screen up on my other monitor, I can actually see the chat, which is extremely helpful. So, how you doing, Pound? I'm having a heck of a night. Full of road bumps and accidental things, and yeah, it's just a thing right now. Explosions, yes. I want to blow it all up. Now, I want to tell the rest of y'all a story, and it's the story of why my house got flooded tonight. My neighbor, she's a wonderful person. She's a great neighbor. She just had her house renovated over the course of the last year, right? So, new flooring, new carpet, new hardwood floors and everything. She was having a new vanity put in tonight. Handpicked the handy person for it, and he came with glowing recommendations from her friends, handpicked him out, everything like that. She went out while he was working. He left the water running. Flooded her entire house. And basically we realized between 6 p.m. and 6:30 that the entire downstairs bedroom and the laundry room and the kitchen and the entire downstairs bathroom were just soaked. And yeah, that was to go along with the family emergency that we're going through right now is just it makes you want to cry, but it also kind of makes you just want to Lieutenant Dan on the ship yelling at the thunderstorm, what else you got? Or is that all you got? So that's kind of where we're at right now, and you know, what the hell else you got? We're just gonna laugh it off at this point, because it can't really get too much worse than this. But fortunately, the remediation crew came over to the neighbor's house. They came over to our place afterward and videoed and got all the evidence videoed it up, and that's the universal sign for videoed. And they got some industrial fans and whatnot. Unfortunately, we are properly insured now, as opposed to underinsured, which is what happened last time with a different neighbor when they flooded us. And they just basically kind of put the old carpet back down after the gigantic industrial fans cleaned everything out a little bit. So now we have the giant industrial fans for hopefully long enough to completely dry everything out, and then we'll be getting some new carpet and some new carpet padding, which would have been nice the first time, but didn't happen the first time because underinsured. So that's been tonight. That was 6 o'clock to probably about an hour ago. And yeah, it's been a day. So anyway, I'm about ready to get into some Final Fantasy XIV. I am playing on my main right now, which is over on the Exodus server. I still haven't run the Dying Gasp on my alt. I need to make time with friends for that, but I have run Dying Gasp on my main quite some time ago. I ran it on Machinist probably maybe a week after the expansion pack came out, and that was like maybe a year and some change ago, but I haven't done 5.1 and 5.2. I just ran the Grand Cosmos dungeon earlier today, and I figured, I should probably, you know, run that again, and then run the rest of the patches on stream, because that would be entertaining. So yeah, I'll do that tonight. And yeah, it'll be fun. So come along with me, why don't you? Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Alright, this is Kaylee. Say hi, Kaylee. Hi, Kaylee. And Kaylee's going to talk to the Crystarium Gatekeep, because she has business with the Crystal Exarch. We're explaining to the new Mao there the predicament that we're in.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing, but that you hail from another world as well?
That's right.
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own. And your soul is the densest of them all.
Thank you, I work out.
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of 4-3 and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself. As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change.
Oh, thank God.
I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
That's fair.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
You've spun quite a tale, but tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? And then they just talk. White Aurosite, you say, an intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there is no telling what may happen to their souls within the Aurosite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then, would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to the transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted and the resulting surfeit of ether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. Leaving lifeless husks. Like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the sin-eaters, their ether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted? Stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why, do you think you might be able to help them? I might or I might not, but I shan't know for sure until I've seen their condition firsthand. Then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything which might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. Well, I see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guest to the inn, I will assist Urianger in creating the requisite aura site. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Becklug as necessary? Let us make for Amareng then. Wow, I just really aged Alphanode up with that voice. Let us make for Amareng already? Okay, exit to the Crystarium. So this is Halric, is it? Yes, his etheric balance leans perilously toward the light. Towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light. He will become a sin-eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the Wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Halric was completely unresponsive before, but now... Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there's a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the ether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Vobert. Then for far darker purposes. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it, but for their sakes I will break that oath. It is not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Alright, let's see here. Pawnil gets it. Soul tonic. Soul tonic. This potent tonic and... whoops. Didn't mean to do that. I always hit 7 on that mouse keypad. Alright. This potent tonic invented by Backlog during the time of Vobert is said to revitalize the soul both figuratively and literally. What is this warmth I feel in my chest? Alright. Todden. Todden also gets it. Todden stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic has had no effect. And who else? Someone over here. Voin. I feel warm in my legs. They don't feel as heavy. Alrighty. Now then, how will things change? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function, in most of the patients at least. The more severely affected show no response. As I feared then. 'Tis true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow, and yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time. But this holds true for only their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later stages of corruption, like Halric, appear unaffected by your tonic. Precisely. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There's a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petition your aid, but do you think it possible we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Alright, back-to-back log. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past, that I was once a mage of the Royal Court of Vobert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the likes of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. Let's see, you mustn't dwell on the past, and now you have a chance to redeem yourself. At least the Warriors of Light brought those responsible to justice. Yep. Aye, that they did. I shudder to think what might have happened had they not. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Were the sky still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility, but now, Now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done if it's all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. I love Alice. I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alpha Node, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Oh god, the pixies. Fine, we'll pay a visit to Ilmeg. Though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're about it, seek out the new Mao of Pla-Ene. They will be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? There still remains the matter of clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Clay from Amarang would likely be best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist us? I could ask the miners at Twine, or, well, there are the scavengers at Mordsuk. Probably the miners at Twine. Ah, yes, they will be able to point you in the right direction, I'm sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn of the stagnation which affects the people here. Ah, there's Magnus. Kaylee, what a coincidence. You've come at a good time. We've just this moment finished repairing the Talos and trolley you lot took at Naboth Arang. The trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter, had we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man, that Chai Nuz. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant Telos to work. Like a giant trolley, but Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jarek, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. And something tells me Kaylee here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? I need some clay. I see, and this familiar requires clay from Amarang. Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that, it isn't exactly commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking around somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Buran mines to make adobe bricks. Place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look there. And yes, it is required for me to nod with every nod that my character does. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's bring the map down a bit. We're going right there. On the magic flying curl. There we go. Destination. With any luck, I won't have to fight anything. That thing. I'm probably going to have to fight it. Yep. This'll be fun. And, see, it dies pretty fast. It's level 76 and I'm like level 80, like plus 12 with the gear that I've got. Wandering Coyote, here we go. Alright, back to the inn at Journey's Head. Itchy shoulder. Twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it? And finely grained soil material found in Amarang. Yes, I do. Wonderful. We need but combine the clay and the water, then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Backlog, I have a question. In the event that we have need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Halric and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there's a chance this spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. I hit the button too fast. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state combined with a strong desire to help them can drastically increase the magic's effect, and you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are a few in all Norvrant more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Kaylee? Absolutely, she's the best woman for the job, and very few, but if aught should go awry, I'll see what I can do. Absolutely, she's the best woman for the job. You know it. I'll give it my all for Halric, for Tesleen. Then we are all of a mind on the matter. Then we are all of a mind on the matter. Alisaie should be the one to conjure the familiar.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay? Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy. Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean.
I will be right back.
There we are. How's that?
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric. Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
A name.
Frederick.
All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
I mean, Angelo's good too.
Mother,
Wow. Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color is returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Halric. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the Invoker. When you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect. That is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Aurosite. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Becklog said that when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most of the tempered to become slaves to the primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment, the Kobold. Gabu. Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Halric's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected aether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow of whom you speak? He's a kobold. I see his condition does sound similar, yet there is much and more about that soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here, work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there's hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Beklug and see if you can't make some headway with their newly posited theories. I will tell you the rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium, then. Finally, I found you! Oh, hey. Kaishir. Kaishir, what are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yulmore. Lady Chai's beside herself, sighing, pacing the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go then, it's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beklug. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yulmore's at stake. Just give me 1 second. Okay, it's still having a lot of trouble with the chat, so... Unfortunately, I think I need to actually take a break for right now. I'll be back later, either later tonight, way too late tonight, or tomorrow night. Until then, have a good night, my night owls. I will see you next time on WayTooLateTV. I am WayTooLate, and take care.